Punishment. Stop chasing people who don't care, because every step you take toward them is a step you take away from yourself. Respect isn't earned by running after someone's approval. It's kept by knowing your own value. Punishment. And here's the truth. If you have to fight for a place in someone's life, it means they've already decided you don't belong there. Think about it. If someone truly wants you in their life, they won't make you beg. Punishment. They won't make you question where you stand, and they won't make you chase them like there's some prize you have to earn. The moment you start chasing people who don't care, you hand over your power. You trade your peace for their attention. You trade your self-worth for their validation. And you know what happens then? You start to shrink yourself. You start lowering your standards just to keep them close. Punishment. You laugh at things that aren't funny. You agree to things that don't sit right with you. And all of a sudden, punishment, you're not even yourself anymore. You're a version of yourself that's built to please someone who doesn't even notice the effort. Here's what you need to realize. The right people don't have to be chased. Punishment. The right people don't make you question if you matter. The right people show up. They match your energy. They reciprocate your effort. And the wrong people, they make you feel like you're too much when in reality, punishment. You're just too much for them. Stop wasting your time proving your worth to people who have already decided not to see it. I want you to picture this. Every time you run after someone who doesn't care, punishment, you're running away from someone who would appreciate your loyalty, someone who would celebrate your presence instead of tolerating it, someone who would see your value without needing reminders. Punishment. But you'll never find those people if you're too busy chasing the wrong ones. Walking away isn't weakness. It's strength. It's the ability to look at a situation and say, punishment, I deserve better than this. It's the courage to let go of what doesn't serve you, even when your heart is attached. And that courage is what creates space for the right people to walk in. You see, silence speaks louder than any explanation. Distance screams louder than any argument. When you stop chasing, you send a clear message, not to them, but to yourself. You're saying, I know my worth. Punishment, and I'm not begging for it to be recognized. That's the kind of power that builds confidence. That's the kind of power that changes the way people treat you. And let's be honest, chasing people who don't care never ends well. You can bend until you break, and still, it won't be enough, because the issue isn't you, it's them. And no amount of chasing can fix someone else's choice. You can't force love. You can't force respect. You can't force loyalty, and the moment you try, you lose yourself in the process. So here's the choice you need to make today. Stop running after people who aren't even looking back. Stop pouring energy into people who drain you. Punishment. Stop begging for a place in a story that was never written for you. Choose yourself. Protect your peace. Walk away with your head high, because the right people, they won't need to be chased. They'll walk with you. Punishment. They'll meet you halfway. They'll value you simply because you are you. And that is the kind of connection worth waiting for. Chasing people who don't care only drains your energy and self-worth. And the hard part is, most people don't realize it until they're completely empty. Think about it. Every time you text someone who ignores you, every time you explain yourself to someone who doesn't even listen, every time you run after a person who treats you like an option, you're spending energy you'll never get back. And what are you getting in return? Silence, excuses, and disappointment. That's not love. That's not respect, That's not connection. That's you trying to fill a gap in someone else's heart while they keep leaving holes in yours. The truth is, attention that has to be begged for is never worth having. If someone actually cares, they'll show it. You won't have to guess, you won't have to chase, and you won't have to constantly prove you deserve their time. Because when people value you, they don't make you earn the bare minimum. They give it freely, punishment, naturally and consistently. And if they're not doing that, then what exactly are you running after? A fantasy of who you hope they'll become, not the reality of who they are right now. Punishment. Chasing people is exhausting. It's a one-way race. You're moving, they're standing still. You're investing, they're withdrawing. You're overthinking, they're not even thinking about it. And that imbalance creates anxiety, insecurity, and self-doubt. You start asking yourself questions like, am I not good enough? Did I do something wrong? Why won't they care? And those questions are dangerous. Punishment, because they make you forget the real truth, that your worth doesn't decrease just because someone refuses to recognize it. People who don't care will take as much as you give and still act like it's not enough. Punishment. They'll take your calls when it's convenient. They'll accept your effort when it benefits them. But the moment you need them, they're gone. And the more you chase, The more you teach them that they can treat you this way and you'll still show up, that's not love, that's dependency. That's training someone to disrespect you. The most powerful shift you can make in your life is this punishment. Stop chasing people who don't care and start chasing your own peace instead. Imagine taking all the energy you waste trying to convince someone to love you and putting it into yourself. Imagine how much stronger, calmer punishment and happier you'd be if you stopped running after people who walk away from you. Because here's the thing, every step you take towards someone who doesn't value you is a step you're taking away from someone who would. Punishment. When you stop chasing, something changes. People notice. They realize your silence means you're no longer willing to play the game. And even if they don't notice, even if they never turn back, you've still won. Why? Punishment. Because you reclaimed your energy. You reclaimed your self-respect. You stopped handing over your power to people who didn't know what to do with it in the first place. Walking away doesn't mean you hate them. Punishment. It doesn't mean you're bitter. It simply means you finally love yourself enough to stop bleeding for people who won't even bandage the cut. It means you've understood that peace is more valuable than attention, punishment. And self-respect is more important than being included in someone's half-hearted life. You don't have to beg for real love. You don't have to chase real friends. You don't have to fight for real respect, punishment. The people meant for you will choose you without hesitation. They will meet you halfway. They will give effort because they want to, not because you forced them. That's what healthy relationships look like. Punishment. Anything else is a transaction where you're paying all the cost and getting none of the return. So the next time you feel yourself running after someone who doesn't care, stop and ask yourself, punishment. What am I losing in this chase? If the answer is your energy, your self-worth, your peace, then it's not worth it. No amount of attention is worth losing yourself. No amount of affection is worth lowering your standards. Punishment. And no amount of company is worth feeling alone next to someone who doesn't even see you. Remember this, the people who actually care won't make you chase them, and the people who make you chase aren't worth catching. Punishment. Choose peace over pursuit. Choose dignity over desperation. Choose yourself over people who wouldn't do the same for you. Because chasing people who don't care doesn't just drain your energy, it steals the best parts of who you are. Punishment. And you deserve better than that. Real respect is never forced. It's mutual or it doesn't exist. You can't argue someone into respecting you. You can't beg them into it. Punishment. You can't keep over-explaining your worth and expect that one day they'll suddenly see it. Respect doesn't work like that. Either it's there, freely given, or it's not there at all. And if it's not there, no amount of chasing, punishment, proving, or sacrificing will create it. So many people waste their lives trying to earn respect from the wrong people. They twist themselves into knots, they lower their standards, they silence their opinions, all just to keep someone around. And what happens? They feel smaller and smaller every time. Because here's the truth. When you force yourself to be less so someone else feels more, you're not gaining respect. You're losing yourself. Punishment. Respect is simple. It's not complicated. When someone values you, they show it. They listen when you speak. They take your feelings seriously. They don't dismiss your boundaries. They don't make you question if you matter. Punishment. That's what respect looks like. It's natural, it's mutual, and it's consistent. And when those things are missing, you don't have respect. You just have a performance where you're the only one putting in the work. Think about it. How many times have you tried to prove yourself to someone who had already made up their mind about you? Maybe it was a partner who kept belittling your feelings. Punishment. Maybe it was a friend who never showed up when you needed them. Maybe it was a boss who treated you like you were replaceable no matter how hard you worked. You kept trying to win them over, hoping that if you just tried harder, punishment, they'd finally recognize your worth. But they didn't. And the reason is simple. Respect isn't created by effort. It's created by recognition. If someone refuses to see your value, no amount of effort will open their eyes. Punishment. Here's what I need you to understand. Respect is mutual or it doesn't exist. Mutual means it goes both ways. It's not just you honoring their needs. It's them honoring yours. It's not just you making space for their voice. Punishment's them making space for yours. Mutual respect feels balanced. It feels safe. It feels natural. And when it's missing, you'll feel it. You'll feel drained. You'll feel ignored. You'll feel like you're always the one giving and never receiving. Stop forcing respect where it doesn't belong. Stop pouring yourself into people who only take and never give. Punishment, stop thinking you have to shrink yourself in order to be accepted. You don't. The right people, the ones who truly value you, will never make you beg for basic respect. They'll never make you earn what should already be there. Punishment, they'll meet you halfway without being asked. And let me tell you something else. Walking away from people who don't respect you isn't cruel. It's necessary, because every time you stay in a place where respect is absent, punishment, you teach yourself that this is all you deserve. And that's not true. You deserve relationships where you don't have to question your worth. You deserve conversations where your voice is heard. Punishment. You deserve spaces where you don't have to fight to be seen. Respect is not about power. It's not about fear. It's not about control. Real respect is about seeing someone as equal. It's about valuing them. Punishment, not because of what they can do for you, but because of who they are. And if someone can't give you that, then they don't deserve access to your time, your energy, or your heart. So remember this: punishment. Real respect is never forced. It's mutual, or it doesn't exist. Don't chase it. Don't beg for it. Don't trade your peace for it. The people who are meant to walk with you will offer it freely, and the ones who won't, let them go. Because the moment you stop demanding respect from the wrong people, you make room for the right ones to show up. Your silence and distance often speak louder than begging for attention. Punishment. Because here's the truth: when you're constantly chasing someone, constantly explaining, constantly trying to convince them to care, you don't gain respect, you lose it. Attention that has to be begged for is never real. Punishment. And the more you beg, the more you teach them that your time and energy are cheap. Silence changes that. Distance changes that. When you stop talking, people hear the loudest message. When you stop showing up, punishment. They realize what your presence really meant. Sometimes words can't do what your absence can. Sometimes walking away says everything that endless explanations never could. Think about it. Punishment. When you're in a relationship or friendship where you feel invisible, you keep talking, keep fighting, keep proving. But has it ever worked? Has pouring your heart out again and again ever forced someone to truly value you? Probably not. Punishment. Because respect and care can't be argued into existence. They either come naturally or they don't exist at all. That's why silence is powerful. It's not passive, it's protective. It's not weakness, it's wisdom. Punishment. Distance teaches people the value of what they took for granted. As long as you're always available, always answering, always chasing, they believe they can treat you any way they want and you'll still be there. Punishment. But the moment you step back, the moment you stop chasing, they have to face the reality that your presence was not guaranteed. They have to face what life looks like without your energy in it. Punishment. And that reality speaks louder than 1,000 conversations. Silence is not about punishing others. It's about protecting yourself. It's about refusing to waste words on people who don't listen. Punishment. It's about saving your energy for places where it will be appreciated. Begging drains you. Silence protects you. Chasing makes you smaller. Distance keeps your dignity intact. Punishment. And here's what most people miss. Sometimes your silence isn't for them at all. It's for you. It's a reminder to yourself that you don't have to keep performing for people who don't clap. Punishment. It's a reminder that your worth isn't tied to how much attention someone else gives you. It's a reminder that the right people won't need convincing. They'll meet you halfway. Punishment. They'll listen without you having to raise your voice. They'll notice your presence without you having to scream for it. The truth is, the people who truly care won't let you go silent without checking in. Punishment. They won't let you create distance without reaching out. They won't wait for you to beg. They'll step up because they want to, not because you force them. Punishment. And that's how you know the difference between those who deserve a place in your life and those who don't. So if you're tired of begging, if you're tired of explaining, if you're tired of feeling invisible, choose silence. Punishment. Choose distance. Not out of anger, not out of revenge, but out of self-respect. You don't need to convince anyone to see your worth. The people who are meant to see it will recognize it without being told. And the ones who don't, punishment. Let them wonder why you stopped talking. Let them wonder why you walked away. Because in that silence, they'll finally hear the truth you've been saying all along. You are not desperate. You are not invisible. And you are not chasing anymore. Your silence is powerful. Your distance is strength. Together, they send a message louder than begging ever could. I know my value, and I won't waste it where it's not appreciated. People who value you will never make you question your worth. Think about that for a moment. If someone truly sees your value, they won't keep you guessing. They won't leave you hanging, wondering if you're good enough. Punishment. They won't make you chase after crumbs of attention while they hold the whole cake. People who value you will make it clear you matter, you're important, and you don't have to beg for your place in their life. The problem is punishment. Too many of us get stuck in relationships, friendships, or even work environments where we constantly feel like we're not enough. We start doubting ourselves, asking, did I do something wrong? Am I too much? Punishment. Am I not enough? But let me tell you something. If you're always questioning your worth around someone, the problem isn't you. The problem is that they don't value you. And no amount of proving, explaining, punishment, or sacrificing will fix that. When someone values you, you'll feel it. They'll respect your boundaries. They'll appreciate your time. They'll listen when you speak. You won't have to perform or beg for attention because your presence itself will be enough. That's the beauty of being valued. It doesn't drain you, it builds you. It doesn't make you insecure, it makes you feel safe. But when you're around people who don't value you, it's the opposite. You feel invisible, like your best is never good enough. You could give 100% and they'd still act like it wasn't anything. And here's the trap. You start pushing harder, chasing more, giving more punishment, thinking maybe if you just prove yourself a little longer, they'll finally see your worth. But let's be honest, if they don't see it by now, they probably never will. Respect, care, love, these things can't be forced. Punishment, they're either given freely or not at all. And people who value you will give them without you having to beg. Because real value isn't about what you do for someone. It's about who you are to them. And if someone can't see that, punishment, then you're not with someone who values you, you're with someone who uses you. Let me put it this way. Imagine carrying a diamond in your hand, but the person you give it to treats it like it's a piece of glass. Punishment. Does the diamond lose its value? No, it's still priceless. The only thing wrong is the person holding it doesn't recognize what's in their hand. That's exactly what happens when you give yourself to people who don't value you. Punishment. Your worth doesn't disappear, they just don't see it. And their blindness doesn't change your reality. So here's the shift you need to make. Stop staying where you constantly feel small. Stop pouring into people who drain you. Stop questioning your worth because of someone else's lack of vision. The right people, the ones who truly value you, won't let you wonder where you stand. They won't keep you in confusion. They'll show you through actions, punishment, not just words that you matter. And let's be clear, walking away from people who don't value you isn't weakness, it's wisdom. It's not about hating them, it's about loving yourself enough to stop shrinking. Punishment. It's about creating space in your life for people who see what you bring without needing reminders. People who value you will never make you question your worth. They'll never play games with your heart. They'll never keep you in doubt. Instead, they'll encourage you, respect you, and make you feel seen. That's the difference. And once you experience real value, you'll never settle for less again. Punishment. So don't waste another moment doubting yourself because of someone who can't see your worth. Protect your energy. Protect your heart. Surround yourself with people who don't make you beg for basic respect. Punishment. Because when you find those people, you'll realize it was never you who wasn't enough. It was them who couldn't recognize your value. Walking away is not weakness. It's choosing peace and dignity. For too long, punishment. People have been told that staying, fighting, and holding on no matter what is the strong thing to do. But the truth, sometimes the strongest thing you can ever do is walk away. Not because you don't care, not because you've given up punishment, but because you finally understand that your peace is more valuable than their chaos and your dignity is worth more than their neglect. When you keep holding on to a relationship, a friendship, or even a situation that's hurting you, punishment. You're not proving strength, you're slowly draining yourself. You're pouring your time, energy, and heart into something that only gives you back pain, confusion, and self-doubt. That's not love. That's not loyalty. Punishment. That's self-destruction disguised as commitment. Walking away is strength because it means you finally put yourself first. It means you've realized that your value doesn't depend on who stays or who leaves. Punishment. It means you'd rather stand alone with dignity than stay surrounded by people who make you feel worthless. And that choice takes courage. Anybody can hold on, but it takes real strength to let go. Think about it. Punishment. How many times have you stayed longer than you should have? In a friendship where you were the only one reaching out. In a relationship where you felt like you were begging to be seen. In a job where your effort was overlooked every single day. You convinced yourself to stay because walking away felt like losing. But every day you stayed, you were losing something far greater. You were losing your peace, your confidence, punishment, and your sense of self. Here's the truth you need to hear. Walking away is not quitting. Walking away is choosing yourself. It's saying, I refuse to keep setting myself on fire just to keep someone else warm. It's saying punishment deserve more than this one-sided fight. It's saying my dignity matters more than proving a point. And here's the beauty of it. When you walk away from what doesn't value you, you create space for what will. Punishment. You open the door for healthy relationships, for friendships that build you, for opportunities that respect you. But none of that can come until you release the weight of what's breaking you. Silence and distance can be the loudest answers you'll ever give. When you walk away, you're not shouting, you're not begging, you're not arguing. You're sending the clearest message possible. I know my worth, punishment, and I won't waste it here. And trust me, people hear that silence. They feel that absence. Sometimes walking away will teach them what words never could. But even if they don't notice, even if they never change, you've still won punishment, because walking away isn't about them. It's about you. It's about protecting your mental health. It's about saving your energy. It's about refusing to spend your life begging for the basics: respect, honesty, care, punishment. And let's be clear, walking away doesn't mean you hate them. It doesn't mean you're bitter. It doesn't mean you're weak. It means you finally love yourself enough to stop accepting less than you deserve. That's strength. Punishment, that's growth, that's dignity. So if you're in a situation right now where you feel drained, unseen, or unappreciated, hear me when I say this: staying is not strength, walking away is. Because the moment you choose peace over chaos, dignity over disrespect, and self-respect over desperation, you win. Walking away is not weakness. It's the clearest, loudest declaration that you value yourself. And once you choose that kind of strength, punishment, you'll never settle for less again.